Halo Wars 2 launches next February for Xbox One and Windows 10 PC, and I had a chance to check out the new Blitz mode that has been just announced for the upcoming RTS game. Firstly, a huge shout out to 343 Industries, the developer behind Halo, for inviting me to their studio to check out the game early. It's just completely fantastic, and it was so cool just being able to visit the studio, meet the Halo team, and check out the Halo Museum. There's so much cool merchandise and Halo props there that's from the live action films and the marketing campaigns and stuff, and of all the special editions. It's a really cool place. It's like heaven for Halo fans. So huge props to 343 for inviting me out there. My first time ever in the States. It was a lot of fun. Anyways, today we are taking a look at Blitz. It's a new fast-paced action experience mode for Halo Wars 2, and it integrates some surprising card mechanics. This is something you wouldn't expect in an RTS game. Now, I've wrote a huge in-depth preview about this on the website air12gaming.com. I'll link to it down below in the description so you can check it out for yourself, which basically goes through everything that Blitz has to offer. Now in this video we'll be kind of doing a brief overview of everything as well that's in Blitz, and you'll get to check out some gameplay, you'll get to see some of the cards in action, and it'll kind of give you a better idea of what it's about if you check out both, I think. Anyway, so Blitz, the new fast-paced action mode for Halo Wars 2, and it delivers short burst rounds of high-intensity battles that require quick thinking strategies. It sees players create their own decks of 12 cards from their favorite units and powers in Halo Wars 2 before deploying them onto the battlefield from their hand. So this is like an entirely new take on the RTS genre. It's something that I haven't seen ever done before, and what's really cool is you don't have to worry about building up your base or the traditional aspects of an RTS game like unlocking abilities or collecting resources or upgrading a tech tree. It's all about combat, it's all about the action. There's a streamlined way of building armies with these decks, and you just jump straight like into the battle. It's great. So yeah, I got to play it for a few hours, and it really reminded me of Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually, I used to play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was a kid, collecting cards and trading them with your friends and stuff. And you also build a deck, and this happens in Halo Wars 2 as well. And like one of the comparisons I made in my article is that you kind of you spawn your monsters, and this is just like spawning units in Halo Wars 2. Like you have your Pelicans, your Wraiths, your Warthogs, your Marines, your ODSTs, so much, and there's all kinds of upgraded variants of your basic units as well that you can unlock through card packs. And essentially, that's pretty much what happens. You get four cards in your hand. You can spawn in a unit like kind of whenever you desire, presuming you have enough energy. That's a new currency that you'll get every so often, and you can also get it by finding certain energy cores around the map. So I'll go in a bit more later on how all that works, and again, everything's detailed in the article. So the biggest thing with Blitz is the length. These aren't your standard 2-hour Halo Wars games. Like, this is nothing like that. These games are even far shorter than what you would have played in the Halo Wars 2 beta earlier this year. So, Blitz game modes, the multiplayer component of Blitz lasts for 12 minutes, and it thrusts you into the action right away. You don't have to prepare units, you don't have to build up bases. It's a shortcut directly into the action. And one of the things I've been thinking about Blitz is that it's the perfect game mode to play if you want to take a quick break from work. You just want to take a quick break from work and just go straight into the action straight away. It's pretty damn cool. So yeah, 343 Industries, they kind of want to create a strategy game for everyone with Halo Wars 2, and this whole Blitz mode, they don't want to overwhelm players with too many simultaneous decisions, so they can get out onto the battlefield quicker. Blitz is a shortcut into the action, but it doesn't remove the strategy element that Halo Wars has always been known for. For those who are new to the genre, it takes them straight into the battle, and it's incredibly accessible for those who don't really know what they're meant to do. Whereas kind of RTS veterans or those who've played Halo Wars before, they're going to find new opportunities for different ways to play with deeper strategy through deck building, army composition, and counterplay. So let's talk a bit about deck building. You can unlock packs as you continue to play various Blitz modes, and you'll be able to purchase them separately for real-life currency. I don't know what the cost of those are yet, they didn't say, but each pack, they'll include a number of cards, including units from the UNSC like Jackrabbits and Cyclopses, upgraded Scorpio tanks, Kodiaks, Hornets, Pelicans, Vultures, and there's all different kinds of infantry and stuff as well. And you'll also unlock cards from the Banished, Halo Wars 2's new enemy faction that's led by the unwanted and devious brute called Atriox. He was with the Covenant. He was, as the name suggests, banished out. Because brutes weren't really wanted, they were always put on the front line in the Halo lore, and now they kind of Atriox was like, no, I'm gonna go do my own thing. So he kind of set up his own army. It's mainly enemies you would know from the Covenant, but they're completely separate from the Covenant with completely different motives essentially. So there's all different kinds of banished enemies that you can get, but they're still your standard wraiths, hunters, banshees, elites. You can get suicide grunts as well. I think that's fantastic. So anyway, one of the great things about Blitz that's actually divided up into two modes. There's Blitz Firefight and Blitz Multiplayer. So obviously Blitz Firefight is just like Firefight that you've seen in Halo 3 ODST, Halo Reach, and the Warzone Firefight component in Halo 5 Guardians. Players need to survive increasingly difficult waves of enemies without letting them capture your zone. So this is where it changes a bit in Halo Wars, because obviously in RTS they can't just do simple survival. It's a bit different. So essentially, you need to stop the enemies from capturing your zones. Blitz multiplayer, on the other hand, it's obviously online based. It's where Blitz becomes a lot more exciting. You're able to play rounds of 1v1, 2v2, and epic 3v3 battles on each of them. Each of those around 12 minutes at maximum, whereas the Blitz Firefight is an unlimited time. It lasts forever, essentially, presuming you can survive. You probably won't, though. It gets very tough very fast. I found both modes quite exhilarating in their own regard, but there's something a lot more unique and surprising about Blitz multiplayer, while the Firefight begins to get, kind of somewhat predictable over time. But it is meant to be your training ground for testing new cards and getting to grips with the mode itself. It's meant to introduce you to Blitz, it's meant to introduce you to the RTS. So it's not really something you're going to be playing every day. Like it's not going to be a huge mode, the Blitz Firefight. It's the Blitz multiplayer that everyone will be playing. But it's a nice addition. It's quite cool that they were able to adapt Firefight into Halo Wars. It's something I didn't expect them to do. Honestly, the whole Blitz thing is something I didn't expect them to do anyway, but the Firefight component is kind of what really surprised me a lot. It's quite nice, but it's a bit too difficult as well. Once you kind of reach around wave 10, the enemies start to become a lot more difficult. But as you keep playing it, you can kind of predict them. You might know, oh, wave 10 is a very difficult one, but they're a bit easier in wave 11. But I gotta make sure I'm ready for whatever's coming in wave 12. You'll be able to start remembering what the enemy is going to use, because a lot of it's very predictable over time. So essentially, you gotta work your way towards surviving against endless hordes of AI enemies. You need to defend the zones and stop the enemy from scoring. If they do take over one of your zones, they will start building up a score, and if they reach the maximum score, it's essentially like a little ring, and if they complete that, then you lose. That's essentially how you lose in Firefight. But using your cards, you essentially spawn in new units, and these can be, as I said, everything that's in Halo Wars. You build your deck of 12 cards, and you'll see 4 cards on screen at once. And as long as you have enough energy, and these can be collected around the map by putting your Warthogs or your Marines or whatever you want to use, something small that can easily get these units, that can easily get the energy for you without having to send the big guys over, because those need to stay at your zones to protect them. So they'll kind of give you like energy and stuff, and you can just spawn in units as much as you want, presuming you have enough energy. Now the thing here is that when you first play it, you'll find yourself maybe being almost a bit crazy. You just want to keep spawning stuff in over and over and over. But that's not necessarily a good idea. That's like wasting your energy. I found, as I played a few more games of Blitz, and despite both the Firefight and the multiplayer, what I'm saying right now, I found that saving up your energy and bringing in the big guys and bringing in units as you need them only, rather than when you think it'll be good to have them in. So bringing them in essentially when you need them tends to work out a lot better. Thinking about, right, I need to spawn some for this zone, I need to spawn some for this zone, and then there's some energy spawned up this side of the map, so I'm going to put a Warthog or some Marines up there. That's a great kind of way to do it. And seeing what enemies are coming. So if you see the enemies sending a lot of air vehicles to you, then you're like, oh, perfect, I gotta get a Wolverine, so anti-air vehicle. If they're dealing you a lot of damage, spawn a Nightingale, so it can heal your troops and your units. So that's how you need to look about it. There's a lot of thinking to it, there's a lot of strategizing to it, but the thing is, it all needs to happen quite fast. This is a very fast-paced game mode. 12 minutes in multiplayer. And in Firefight, you're only given like 30 seconds between waves, so very quick thinking is required, whichever of the Blitz modes you're playing. Another thing I should mention is that where you spawn your units is also crucial. You do have a little base you can't upgrade or anything, but you and your team will have a base, and this again applies to both modes. Whenever you spawn at that base, will have full health. It'll be normal. There'll be nothing wrong with it. Just as you would if you're spawning any unit in Halo Wars 2 or Halo Wars in general. But if you spawn a unit outside of your base, it'll have some kind of deficiency. It could spawn with half health, half energy, or something else that makes it feel a bit lacking than whereas if you spawned it at your main base. So this is quite interesting because it makes you think, oh god, do I spawn a bunch of enemies or do I spawn a bunch of units at this zone to fend off all the enemies that are attacking me right now, or do I spawn them at my base so they have full health, full energy, and then send them over? That's the kind of thinking you need to do, and that's the kind of thinking you need to make in split seconds as well, because the more time you waste thinking about what you're going to do, the more chance you're probably going to lose. That's the funny thing with this mode, but it's great, it's fantastic, and I love the way that 343 and the developer as well, Creative Assembly, they're the guys who are kind of mainly working on Halo Wars 2. I love the way they've handled it. I think they're doing a good job with it. So very, very interesting stuff with Blitz, I find. While Firefight acts as a practice ground for Blitz, everything will still feel like Halo Wars 2. The resource system is there, it's just a lot simpler than before, and it's great for newcomers. The controls for moving and selecting units and building your deck feels intuitive, while all the familiar Halo Wars 2 commands are still present. The big talking point for Blitz though is the collectible cards and deck building mechanics. While you need to have 12 cards per deck, there's a lot of new ones to unlock from packs. These run from a variety of gameplay activities such as winning matches, setting high scores, and trying out different tactics. Each of the cards represent units and powers from the core Halo Wars 2 experience, and there's shared and leader-specific card pools as well. Each card also has a level, and this is kind of like a little ranking system that's used for cards in Blitz. Each card can be leveled up by simply earning that same card again through a pack. It's quite neat actually, and it means that you're not going to be getting cards over and over and over again that are useless or that you don't need, because they'll all be contributing to leveling up that specific unit. There's also little keyword descriptions on each cards, and they just kind of give a quick rundown on what the unit is or what it's best used for. So, just like in standard multiplayer, leaders will play a significant role in Blitz. 6 will be available at launch, and more to come at DLC, and they keep the experience varied with aggressive, balanced, and economy-focused gameplay. You can use them to either control the battle or control the map. So it's like, do you prefer combat-focused gameplay or controlling the map so you can get the zones? And this is kind of where teamwork and stuff comes into play, because while Blitz is all about the fast-paced action, the overall objective is still about holding on to your designated areas and keeping your opponents outside them. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. Blitz multiplayer, meanwhile, this is the big one. This is the one that everyone's going to be playing and talking about, and it's these two PvP teams fight for control of the Proving Grounds. That's the name of the map that features in both variations of Blitz. There are no other maps in the game, or in the mode I should say, sorry, not the game. So that might make you think, it may seem like it's not much, but based on what I played, the fact that you're focusing on strategies and there's so many different ways for you to play, and the cards in your deck and your enemies and your teammates stuff, it makes it a different experience each time you play. So I didn't think too much about the map or environment. And in addition to that, 343 Industries are confident that, and I quote, the combination of cards, decks, and team strategies will make each and every match feel unique and exciting. And I can definitely agree. Each of the matches were unique and exciting, though I still think that over time, some new maps might be helpful. There doesn't seem to be any plans to add more maps though, so we'll see how that goes. But again, Blitz is also that kind of mode you're going to play in short bursts every so often, rather than something you're going to be grinding for hours and hours and hours to reach the highest rank. You can still grind on your standard multiplayer maps and modes, like your regular games of Deathmatch, but Blitz is designed as a new experience that's outside of the multiplayer component, and this is kind of why the developer is able to kind of take risks with it and try something new with the RTS genre. And that's why Blitz kind of works so nice, and with new cards and leaders coming after launch, it wouldn't hurt as well to see some additional maps. So I got to play the new 2v2 Blitz multiplayer matches for a good few hours, and I enjoyed all of them, even when our team was losing. because the rounds and the games are so short, there's no real incentive to quit out early. And if you spawn the right units and take over these two bases anywhere at all during the match, you can easily turn a losing game around. So there's never really a clear winner until someone approaches the final score of 200 points. You'll also need to capture two bases at once to reap in the most points though. Whether capturing all three will give you dominance over the entire map, but that's pretty tricky, you know. You would need one team to be really, really good and another team to be shockingly bad almost for that to happen. Um, I'm not going to comment on whether it happened to us while we were playing, but you can kind of see the point where people who are experienced with the mode will definitely have that feeling where we're able to capture all bases and hold on to them for a set period of time. Whereas if you have two teams who are really experienced, it's going to be neck and neck action, you know, and it's going to be constant switching between who has the most bases and who doesn't. So that's definitely quite interesting as well. And whether a team hits 200 points or not, the game will still end after 12 minutes. 12 minutes is the max, and the highest scoring team or player will be the winner. So overall, it's a very intense mode all around. At the start, you know, I found myself spawning additional units that when I had enough energy to do so, but then as I kind of went on, I started strategizing more. I started spawning in less. I was thinking about my cards, thinking about the energy I had, and thinking about what was the best ways to use them. One of the things I love doing is when one of my areas is being attacked that I've captured is just sending in a bunch of ODSTs, scorpions, hornets, vultures, all kinds of units just to attack the enemy and keep them out so I can hold on to that base and you know, hold on to all those points as well and keep bringing in those points. But yeah, one of the things about Halo Wars 2 though is that the battle isn't over until it's over, until it's done and done. So right up until the end, you could always make a comeback if you have the time and if you can strategize it quite well. So overall, Blitz provides a unique twist on the RTS gameplay to replace the traditional aspects of your usual lengthy online multiplayer game modes. Rather than building bases and collecting resources to create units, you simply spawn them from cards using energy. Those spawned at your main Blitz team will have at your main Blitz team base will have full health and energy, while those dropped outside will have some kind of deficiency, as we mentioned earlier, such as lower health or movement speed, you know, something along those lines. And these things make a difference, and the rapid thinking and team play that's required by Blitz is one of the reasons I really enjoy it. It's perfect if you want to take a small break during work. It's handy just to be able to load up the game, open a couple of card packs, reorganize some of the cards in your deck, you know, put in some of the better ones, you got some of the rarer ones that are going to give you a good advantage, play a quick match or two. That's the beauty of Blitz. I can't wait to see how it evolves from what I played to its final version when Halo Wars 2 releases next February. Those fast-paced and explosive games that emphasize skilled card and unit play, along with map control and dominance, is why this risky endeavor should prove to be successful for 343 Industries, Creative Assembly, and Halo Wars 2. Of course, we'll see what happens between now and launch. You know, there might be some changes. We know another multiplayer beta is going to be happening before next February, so we might see Blitz being included, as it seems to be something 343 are really pushing. A lot of people at the studio was asking me how I felt about Blitz, what I thought about it, and what my overall feedback was about the mode, and they were asking me some of the things I'd like to see change, such as, you know, I feel like the Firefight mode gets a bit too hard too fast, and I feel like one map may not be enough. So it's quite good to hear them, you know, listen to that feedback and stuff. And I'll be interested to see if they act on it, you know, either before launch or after launch, or even through the beta as well, because they'll obviously get a lot of feedback from the beta. I'm very interested in seeing what you guys think. Let us know in the comments below. Let us know in the comments of the article. Be sure to check it out. Really in depth, goes through everything you need to know about Blitz. We'll have some more videos coming out and some more content coming out for Halo Wars 2 over the next few days, the coming weeks and months, leading right up to launch. Lots to look forward to. Anyways, my name is Alan Walsh. I'm one of the writers for AR12Gaming.com. Be sure to visit the website for all your daily gaming news, and we have a bunch of reviews and stuff on there as well. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.